Welcome to part 2 of Let's Play House of Hell by Steve Jackson. At the end of the last video I was just about to turn to paragraph 193 after writing down Mordana in Abadan. So let's turn to 193 now. Okay, a short distance further on you come to the top of the main staircase which leads downwards. Immediately opposite the staircase is an unmarked door. Do you wish to go downstairs? Turn to 132. Try the unmarked door, turn to 377, or will you continue round the landing? We are going to try the unmarked door, so turn to 377. Okay, you step into a small storeroom and close the door behind you. There are shelves on the left and right walls on which various household objects are stored. In front of you, in the wall facing the door, is another door. What do you want to do? Will you search through the things on the shelves, turn to 83, try the door opposite, turn to 255, or return to the landing, turn to 233. We are going to search through the things on the shelves, so turn to 83. Okay, various items of crockery, cutlery and food are kept in the storeroom, including a sharp meat knife, which you might like to hide under your coat to use as a weapon in the future. This sharp knife will allow you to add 3 skill points in a fight. On one shelf you find several cloves of garlic, which you may also take. Okay, let's just stop right there and write this down. So we have a knife, a sharp meat knife, so let's write that down, in equipment, of course. Let's just put equipment. Put that underneath there. Sharp meat knife, cloves of garlic, and back we go. There is also an unlabelled bottle of white liquid on another shelf. If you wish to drink the liquid, turn to 362. Oh yeah, I forgot to add the 3 skill for the knife that we have. So we're back to 8 now. So let's put that back to 8. That's brilliant. Right. Yeah, there's also an unlabelled bottle of white liquid on another shelf. If you wish to drink the liquid, turn to 362. We don't want to do that. I think it's bad. It's almost certainly bad. If you would prefer to ignore the liquid and try the door at the back of the storeroom, turn to 255. Your only other alternative is to leave by the door you entered and return to the landing. Turn to 233. Okay, we're going to return to the landing. 233. A few steps past the unmarked door is another unmarked door. If you wish to try this one, turn to 98. If you wish to ignore it and go on, turn to 374. We're going to ignore it and go on, so turn to 374. It's imperative that we go the right way here and not be tempted to take detours, because sometimes we can't get back. The landing turns right and a passage branches off. You may either turn left down the passageway and past a couple of doors before turning left again, turn to 339, or turn right following the landing, turn to 272. We're going to turn right and follow the landing, 272. Okay, you follow the landing round past a wooden door which bears the name Tatavillas. You may try this door by turning to 155. Straight ahead, the landing ends at a panelled wall and the passageway turns to the left. To follow the passage round, turn to 175. We're going to follow the passage round, so 175. We don't go. Yeah, we don't want to go in the Tutte Villa store, whatever it was called. Okay. You follow the passageway round the corner to the left. Two doors face each other across the passage, and you may either try the door on the left to the Belial Room, or the door on the right to the Abadan Room. Straight ahead, the passageway continues for a few meters before ending at an unmarked door. Would you try the door of the Belial Room, try the door of the Abadan Room, try the unmarked door ahead, or turn back and go downstairs? We are going to try the unmarked door ahead, I think. So we're going to go to 103. You open the door slowly and carefully. The room you enter is a bedroom which looks as though it is waiting for someone to come in and go to bed. The sheets are folded back, the fire in the fireplace is warm but dying. On the bedside table a candle is burning, and next to it is a silver tray with a bedtime snack on it. Velvet curtains are pulled across the window, and along the left-hand wall are fitted cupboards. The overall picture is quite cosy. Will you enter the room and investigate the bedside table, turn to 163, or the cupboards, turn to 41, or are you a little suspicious of the apparent tranquility of this room and would prefer to leave, turn to 243. We are going to enter the room and investigate the bedside table, turn to 163. On the bedside table are a candle which lights the room and a silver tray. On the silver tray is a nighttime snack, bread, jam and tea. You can, if you wish, eat the snack, turn to 226. Otherwise you can leave it and either investigate the cupboards or leave the room. We are going to eat the snack, of course, because I like bread, jam and tea, so especially Earl Grey, and we're going to turn to 226. You examine the tray carefully, but there seems to be nothing suspicious about it. The snack is just what you needed. You may add 4 stamina points and 1 luck point for this find. Let's do that now. I need some stamina. So let's put our stamina back to 16, because it's 12 plus 4 is 16. That's lovely, brilliant, and our luck is still at 8. We haven't used any luck, so that's brilliant. When you are ready, you may either leave the room or investigate the cupboards. We are going to leave the room, so 243. A few steps further back down the passageway, 2 doors face each other. On the right is the Belial Room, which you may enter by turning to 312. On the left is the Abadan Room, and you may try this door by turning to 335. Otherwise you can continue round the passageway and walk downstairs, turn to 132. We are of course going to enter the Abadan Room because we got that message, but we need to go and get the snack first, so we're going to turn to 335 to try the Abadan Room. You enter a I'll start again. You enter a bedroom which is lit by a single candle burning by the bedside. A heavy, musty odour hangs in the air, which could come from all the plants which are standing in pots on the mantelpiece, bedside table, dresses, and shelves. Whoever used this room certainly liked plants. But another sight catches your attention and stops you in your tracks. Asleep in the bed is an old woman. It seems that she has not heard you, for she has not moved since you entered the room. Do you wish to leave her in peace, walk over and wake her, or would you instead spring over and attack her before she can wake? We are going to wake her, but this will cause some so turn to 139. There's some places in this game when you have to get some fear points. You step over to the bed and shake the old woman gently, but as soon as you touch her withered skin, you jump back in horror. She is stone cold, dead. Add 2 fear points for the shock. Let's do that now. So let's put 2. We're at 2 now. As you stand by the bed, shivering, a low moan comes from the body. Its eyelids flick open and pure white eyes stare up at the ceiling. She has no pupils. Do you wish to wait to see what will happen next? Turn to 246, or would you beat a hasty retreat and return to the passageway? We are going to wait and see what happens, because otherwise the fear points we got would be useless. 246. Well, they're useless anyway, but you know what I mean, they would have been in vain. You hear words coming from the old woman, yet her lips do not move. In quotation marks. Stranger, how dare you invade the private bedchamber of the woman of the house? She asks. You stammer an apologetic reply. She orders you, begone, intruder, leave an old woman to die in peace. Will you leave her as she wishes, turn to 159, or ask her for information about the house? We're going to ask her for information, 170. It's quite nasty. What business of yours is this house? She screams. If you will not go of your own accord, then my hounds will see you off, and if they cannot, I will do it myself. With these words, a wooden panel slides open in the wall. Two huge Great Danes spring out and attack. Resolve your battle with the dogs. Fight them one at a time. Okay, we're going to have to fight some dogs. So yeah, and we want to win, and we're going to search it, otherwise fighting dogs would be useless. So we have the first Great Dane, skill 7, stamina 6, so let's type that in, here we go. First Great Dane, as skill 7, and stamina 6, wasn't it? Is that right? Yep, that's right. Next one is 6, right. And I'll just put enemy attack and my attack as before. Right, so I have 8 skill now since I got the knife, the sharp meat knife that I picked up. So let's do this. Right, here's the dice program. Put it on a 6-sided one, and 2 of them, of course. So his roll first, add it to 7. 9, that's 16 for him, and at 6, that's 14 for me. So 16 to 14 is his first. So he wins the first one. Puts my stamina down to 14. Lovely, brilliant. So far so good. Next one, he gets a 3, that's 10, and I get a 7, that's 15, so 10 to 15, that's excellent news. 10, no, it's 20, 10 to 15, that's fantastic, so he goes down to 4, that's brilliant. Right, next one, okay, he gets a 6, that's 13, I get 10, that's 18, so 13 to 18, let's type that in now, to 18, and it goes down to 2, so one more hit and he is dead. Let's do that. He gets a 4, that's 11, of course, and I get an 8, that is 16, so 16 to 11, I win this battle. So yeah, 11 to 16 for me. So he is down to 0. So now we're going to fight the second Great Dane. Let's do that now. Second Great Dane. Skill, it was 6, wasn't it? So 6, and stamina is also 6. Put a comma after that. Enemy attack, yeah, and my attack, yeah. Alright, let's do this. So, a bit easier than the last one. So he gets a 10, that's 16. I get 9, that's 17. So 16 to 17, that was quite fortunate. I got a big one as well. So 16 to 17. So he's down to 4 now. That's it. He gets 11. This doesn't look good, does it? That's 17. I get 10. That's 18. My goodness me, that was lucky again. So 17 to 18. Done that thing again. Yep, there we are. So he's down to 2. So one more hit, hopefully, and he is dead. He gets a 9. I don't think this one's going to be good. So 9 plus 6 is 15. And I get 8. That's 16. I did it again. That's 16 to 15. Again, really close. So 15 for him and 16 for me. So he's down to 0 as well. Good, didn't lose any more health. And that's the battle resolved. So we are now going to search the room. So turn to 19. You search the room while the old woman threatens you from her bed. You recognise some of the plants, as most of them are common house plants. The woman's voice grows frantic as you poke around in a herb garden by the window. A thought dawns on you, and you turn to her, threatening to destroy her plants unless she is able to give you the information you require. She shrieks at the thought of you harming her plants and agrees. What will you ask her? How to find the man in grey? About the secret rooms in the house? Or what tonight's festivities are? We're going to ask about the secret rooms. Turn to 321. Okie dokie. Before I will answer your question, she says, you must tell me something. What is my name? Do you know what her name is? If so, you will have noted a reference number to turn to, should you be asked this question. Turn to this reference. If you do not know her name, she will not answer your question, no matter what you threaten to do to her plants, and you will have to leave the room by turning to 159. Okay, we know her name. It is Mordana, and it is paragraph 88, so we shall turn to 88 immediately. So 88. She curses. Damn you, stranger, she hisses. All right then, I will answer your question. Which question did you ask her? We asked about the secret rooms in the house. Turn to 295. Secret rooms? She laughs. Why, this house is riddled with secret passageways and secret rooms. Most are in the cellar, though, but some of the upstairs passages lead to them. The most cunning secret room is the master's most trusted hiding place. It can only be reached by one way, and that is from under the stairs in the cellar. A password is needed, and I knew the old one, but it has recently been changed. Shiku will know the new password. The woman's eyes close, as if the conversation has been a great strain. You leave her be, and consider the information you have been given. When you are in a position to find the secret door in question, under the cellar stairs, you may try to find it by deducting 10 from the reference you will be on at the time, and turning to the new reference. No other clue as to its location will be given, but first you must find the password. Leave the room by turning to 159. Let's just write that down. So, secret room under the cellar. A secret door under the cellar stairs. Let's write that down. Actually, I'll put this in a new section called information. Yeah. Secret door under cellar stairs. Actually, I'll just put colon. Deduct 10 from current paragraph. There we go. That will do for that. Right, so let's now turn to 159. Yeah, turn to 159 now. Having explored most of the rooms upstairs, you decide to risk searching the ground floor. You follow the landing back round to the staircase and creep downstairs. Turn to 132. You walk down the stairs cautiously, looking in every direction. There is no one about. In the hallway below, you may choose to try either a door on the left, turn to 353, or a door on the right, turn to 285, or you can walk up to the front door and open it, turn to 222. Okay, we are going to try the door on the left, so 353. The door opens into a large but cosy drawing room. The dying embers of a warm fire burn in the hearth. Comfortable chairs are arranged around the fireplace. 2 glasses and a decanter stand on a glass-topped table between the chairs. There are plants in tall stands on either side of the windows, and there is another door next to the one you came in. Do you wish to explore the room further? Turn to 119. Leave through the other door. Turn to 218. Or would you have a little tipple from the decanter? Turn to 292. We're going to have a tipple from the decanter. 292. You pour a measure of the deep brown liquid into one of the glasses and hold it up. It looks safe enough, so you take a sip. Delicious. The brandy warms you inside as it slips down, and you may add 3 stamina points. Let's do that now. So we're now up to 17. You spy a hip flask on a shelf in one corner, and you may take some of the brandy with you if you wish. Okay, let's put that down. Brandy. Now you can look around the room. Do you wish to examine the corner shelf where you found the hip flask, 192, or the fireplace and the mantelpiece, 303, or will you leave this drawing room, 218? We're going to examine the fireplace and the mantelpiece, 303. A fine carriage clock sits in the centre of an elaborately carved wooden mantelpiece. A number of letters are jammed in behind the clock, and you reach for them. As you do so, your sleeve catches one of the carved images in the woodwork, and it moves. You lean forward to examine it. It is a small carved demonic face which can be moved sideways. Do you wish to see what lies beyond the wooden face? Turn to 85, or will you read through the letters? Turn to 364. We're going to see what lies beyond the wooden, see what lies behind the wooden face. 85. A little carving moves to reveal a button set in the mantelpiece behind it. You consider whether or not to press the button. As you are deep in thought, you do not notice what is happening to the fire. In the grate, the fire has come back to life. Strong flames are licking the chimney, and considerable heat is being given off. You feel the heat and step backwards. As you do so, 2 small figures leap from the fire and face you. These fire sprites are small. They come up to your knees, but their flaming bodies burn with the vigour of the fire from which they arose. They hover in the air just above the carpet, for if they touch anything it bursts into flames. Do you wish to fight these creatures? Turn to 9, or will you try another approach? Turn to 145. We're going to try another approach, 145. How would you hold off these advancing creatures? Would you pick up the brandy decanter, or move slowly backwards towards the window? We are going to move back towards the window. 64. The fire sprites follow you as you back towards the window. Pretending to be terrified, you make for one of the plant pot stands and attempt to hide behind it. But when the sprites are near enough, you strike. Grabbing the large plant pot on top of the stand, you hurl the contents over the little creatures. The soil covers them and douses their flames. In an instant, they have disappeared. Turn to 375. That's clever. Yeah, I think using the brandy makes them get even stronger or something. You step back up to the fireplace and examine the secret button again. Will you press it? Turn to 392, or will you leave the drawing room? Turn to 218. We're going to press the button, 392. You press the button and hear a small click. Then you hear another sound and you swing round to face the corner shelf. Beside the shelf, a sliding panel has opened in the wall. You walk over to investigate and bend down to look at the opening. Too late, you realise that the panel has revealed not a tunnel at all, but a false opening. The wall behind is solid, but it has served its purpose. You have been lured into a trap. You are standing on a trapdoor which opens beneath you, and you fall downwards. Turn to 397. Down you fall for several meters until you finally land in a heap on something soft. Add 1 fear point for the fright and test your luck. Let's do that now. So let's add the fear point and let's test the luck. I'll do that now. So that's up to 3 now. So let's test our luck. Our luck is 8, well it was 8, so it has to be equal to or less than 8 for us to be successful. Here we go. And we get a 3. Good, that means we're lucky. Alright, so test your luck. If you're lucky, you are unhurt. If you are unlucky, you have twisted your wrist. Deduct 1 skill point. Okay, so we were lucky. You pick yourself up and verify there is no serious damage. You have landed on a mound of earth and hay, and you realise that you are in a cellar underneath the house. The room is fairly small, with 1 door. Outside, you can hear a shuffling noise coming closer. Will you spring behind the door to surprise whatever is approaching? Turn to 6. Or will you quickly search the room for a weapon in case you need to defend yourself? Turn to 355. We're going to spring behind the door. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Number 6. Paragraph number 6. The door slowly opens and you hold yourself close to the wall. The man who enters is short and stocky and appears to be bent double. He is not armed. He peers into the room and scratches his head. Evidently he has heard something and is perplexed at finding nothing in the room. Will you step forward and announce yourself, or keep hidden and hope he leaves? We're going to step forward and announce ourselves. Turn to 367. You cough lightly and step forward. The man turns towards you and jumps back, startled. You apologize for frightening him and explain your situation. He eyes you suspiciously and calms down, saying, "Of course I'll help you. Follow me." As he turns and walks through the door, you can see that he is not bent over double, but has a hunched back. You follow him from the room. Turn to 210. As you leave the room, the hunchback limps along, muttering to himself. "I wish the master's friends would not just drop in on me like that," he mumbles, "giving me such a fright and all, especially on a night like tonight." He leads you along until he reaches a door on the left. Keep on going until you reach a staircase, then go up into the house. I've got work to do down here. Do you recognise this hunchback? Have you met him before? If so, you may turn to 230. If not, you may either follow his directions, turn to 393, or wait until he has gone and explore the cellar. We have met him before, so 230. You recognise the hunchback as the man who brought you a drink upstairs. Would you jog his memory, or would you rather have your revenge and attack him? We're going to jog his memory, 198. Um, the dull-witted hunchback seems vaguely to remember your face. You start to chat to him, and find that he is quite flattered that someone wants to talk to him. He tells you his name is Shiku, and he lives in the cellars beneath the house. Do you wish to ask him about the secrets of his cellars? Turn to 18. Or if you have any brandy with you, you may put it out and offer him a drink. We're going to offer him a drink. 93. His eyes light up at the sight of the brandy. You pour a little into the cap of the hip flask and pass it to him. He gulps it down and licks his lips. After 2 more capfuls, he is definitely slurring his speech. You tell him that you have heard of secret passageways in the cellar, and that you would be very interested in being shown around by someone as knowledgeable as he is. Your flattery and the brandy have their desired effect. Proudly he tells you all about his cellars, much more than he should. Of course, not everyone can get round these cellars, he boasts. You have to know the password to get through some of the secret doors, and the master keeps changing the password to protect his secrets. In fact, only yesterday he changed the password from Pravimi to... oh, what was it now? It's on the tip of my tongue. I should remember it because it is like the name of the house, but mixed up. My mind's mixed up. It must be you and your brandy. He steps back, realizing that he's said enough. You try asking him more, but he will not speak. Instead, he turns towards the door in the left-hand wall and leaves you, pointing down the passageway and mumbling something about upstairs. Turn to 393 to follow the passageway, or 166 to look around. Okay, we're going to follow the passageway. 393. The passageway widens into a small chamber. Although it is dark, you can see a staircase going up a few meters ahead of you. To your right, the chamber opens out into a wide area. You step forward, and almost immediately a twittering noise puts you on your guard. Suddenly, you feel something land on your head and dig sharp claws into your scalp. You gasp and swat it away. Your hand touches a small leathery body, and a pair of wings start to flap as it rises from your head. Bats, a number of them are flapping around your head, darting and scratching with their claws. You must add 1 fear point for the shock. Let's do that now. Do you wish to run up the stairs, to hide under the stairs, to fight the bats? We are going to hide under the stairs. Turn to 320. You shelter under the stairs and fend off the bats with your hands. They soon discover that they cannot get at you while you are tucked away, and they flap off back to the corner from which they came. When all is quiet again, you may decide your next move. Will you head up the stairs and open the door at the top, turn to 293, or will you remain to explore the bat's chamber, 330? Because we're under the cellar stairs, we can use the thing that we got. So we can deduct 10 from this paragraph, and don't have to do either of these things. And then we can go to 310 to find the secret door. So 310 is what we need. If you wish to look for secret doors, turn to 276. Otherwise, return to the last reference and choose again. 276. You feel around the wall, rapping the brick with your knuckles. Your heart leaps as you find a hollow area. You trace it with your fingers, and the area is roughly the shape of a small door. Do you wish to look for a catch which will open the door, turn to 253, or will you try a password? We are going to try a password. Turn to 237. You stand back from the secret door and say your password. Which word will you choose? Okay, if you remember, it's like the name of the house. That's what the hunchback said. And if you remember, it's the Earl of Druma. Now that's the clue here. So it's not Pravimi, because he said that wasn't Pravimi. Goathead and Chris are red herrings. So Druma is an anagram of murder. So the logical thing here is murder. This is a very difficult puzzle. You have to think of that that the Earl of Druma is an anagram of murder. It's quite a tricky one, but that's the answer. So we turn to 174. And of course we have to remember to use the secret door thing that we got, which is annoying in itself. The rock creaks and dust rises as the wall comes to life. A crack appears in the brickwork and slowly a secret door opens. But to your surprise, the door opens to one side of the hollow area you found. Perhaps this was merely a decoy. Moments later, the door has opened wide enough to let you see inside. You can see a small chamber with a table standing in the centre. On the table is a box. If you wish to enter, turn to 48. If you would rather leave, you can climb the stairs and go through the door at the top. Turn to 293. We are going to enter, turn to 48. You step into the small room. Glancing round to make sure you are safe, you walk up to the table. The rest of the room is bare except for the table and the box which rests on it. Could this be the one you were looking for? It is a handsome rectangular box made of wood with brass fastenings. It looks like a case for a pair of dueling pistols. You undo the catch and flip back the lid. Turn to 35. Your eyes light up as the lid falls back. The box is lined with red velvet, and there in the middle is a pearl-handled dagger. Its silver blade is wavy, but it is finely polished and razor-sharp. An inscription in the wooden top reads, "The Chris Knife, a blade fashioned for the glorification and pleasure of the demons of hellfire, our true masters, to be used only by initiates, never to be wielded in the presence of the masters." A sense of awe fills you as you pick up the knife. You turn it over tenderly in your hands and then place it in your pocket. For this find you may add 3 luck points. Now you must decide what to do next. Will you leave the way you entered and climb the stairs to the ground floor, or will you search the room thoroughly first? We're going to add those luck points first. So luck goes back to 8. Back to its initial value, and we're going to climb the stairs to the ground floor, but we're not going to search the place. 293. You open the door at the top of the stairs. Facing you is a door, and to your right the hallway ends at another door. Do you wish to enter the door opposite? Turn to 113. The door to your right, turn to 260, or turn left into a main hallway. We are going to enter the door opposite 113. That's quite weird. The room you enter is a reception room. A table and 6 chairs stand in the centre of the room. At one end is an enormous mural of a country scene, perhaps painted of the area many years ago. On the opposite wall, stretching from the floor to the ceiling, is a full-length mirror. Velvet curtains line the wall opposite the door. You walk over to admire the painting, then turn to face the mirror. A shock is in store. Your eyes widen as you turn towards the mirror and stare into it. It casts no reflection of you. Add 1 fear point. It's up to 5 now. Luckily we can go up to 11. You walk closer to the mirror, but still no reflection appears, although you can see the table and the wall behind you clearly. You walk right up to it and feel its surface. Your hand passes right through the glass. Pulling it back quickly, you consider the situation. Will you leave this room, turn to 131, step through the mirror, turn to 160, or investigate the room further? We're going to investigate the room further, 324. The underside of the table forms a closed box, and this arouses your suspicions. You knock on it. It is hollow. Perhaps it is a secret compartment. You feel around underneath, and sure enough, your fingers find a small catch which releases a hidden drawer. Inside the drawer is a leather box. But wait, what is that noise? You can hear footsteps outside the door. You will have to hide quickly. Will you grab the case and take it with you? Turn to 147. Or will you leave it behind and close the drawer? Turn to 100. We're going to grab the case, of course. 147. Where will you hide? Will you knit behind the curtains or quickly dive through the mirror? We're going to dive through the mirror. Turn to 3. You grab the box and walk up to the mirror. You put your hand through again and pull it back. It seems safe enough. You step through, just in the nick of time, for as you disappear into the mirror, you hear the door open behind you. You find you are in a small room behind the mirror. You decide to open the leather box. Inside is a golden key, which you put in your pocket. Turn to 160. So, golden key. Turn to 160. Behind the mirror is a small chamber, just large enough for you to turn around in. There are 2 doors in the chamber. Do you want to try the left-hand door or the right-hand door, or would you rather step back through the mirror? We'll be deciding what we're going to do in the next part. The next part will have, that will be the final part, because I've nearly completed this game. There should only be about 15 or so more paragraphs, and then we're done. So we'll be reading the conclusion of this game in the next part. So thank you for watching, and bye bye.